It's now 8 p.m. on Thursday on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning and it's 1 a.m. in London and it's 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan. Welcome once again to another edition of Talk Back Live, where we get together each Thursday and we have a lot of fun. We get you involved in our conversation because it's all up to you to do that. If you like to get involved, all you have to do is just type, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will entertain you, answer your questions, maybe your thoughts and ideas, and we'll have a whole lot of fun together. We come your way each Thursday at this time between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you're in a different time zone, of course, you want to set your clock accordingly to make sure that you're with us on time. And we're here all over the world, no matter where you roam, from one part of the world to the other part of the world, from city to city, coast to coast. We're all over. All you have to do is check us out either on Facebook, on YouTube, and Instagram. We come all of those three ways, and we get you all involved with us. I want to say hello to all of you guys. I want to say hello to my good friend Mike. Is it safe to call you Reverend Mike? Michael Haynes? Anyway, in any case, we got together many years ago. We used to work at a radio station called WOR, and we were crazy back in those days. He's a little more sane now. You know, I didn't change a bit. Anyway, not yet. He's not yet a minister, but I know he's going to make it. Very smart as a whip, and he's going to make it. He nicknamed me Fancy Pants. I don't know why. I might not have even asked him back in those days, but I was just wondering why and how. I've been nicknamed so many things when I was at WOR. Fancy Pants was the one I never really got to understand, and maybe he'll explain that one. Anyway, thanks all of you guys for being with us, and you guys too on Facebook. I see you guys coming in. Even if you're idle, and if you want to get involved with us, you can do that. We'll be able to talk to you, any questions or anything that you want to talk about. And of course, you realize that this is the very last show of 2021, all right? And the next time we meet, God's will, we'll be back here next week, and it'll be a brand new year. We want to wish all of you a happy new year, and thank you so much for being along with us. Melly started it. Melly started it. That's Dan Melly. I remember Dan Melly, right? He started it. Call you dressed up for work. Okay. I guess if that's the best you can do, Mike, if that's the best you can do, that's fine. Okay, I'll take it. I didn't even know that Dan Melly got involved with that. I didn't know he was. I thought that just came from you. I didn't know that. Fancy pants. I don't know. Anyway, I don't wear fancy pants anymore. All right, but you could still call me that. I select all the nicknames. I mean, even Chris Thompson, he had a nickname for me. He used to call me the Hitman. So, let's see. I got other nicknames, Mike, that even George Joseph, who comes in occasionally sometimes, he gave me a nickname called the chairman of the, well, you can't say the words anymore, but he did start it. He said, call me the chairman of the broads. Whatever. All right, but now they don't call me chairman of the broads anymore. They just say either Mr. Chairman or the chairman, So anyway, that's it. Mike said I just beat jokes. He just beat jokes and into the ground. He just beat the jokes into the ground. Okay, so Dan merely started it, but you kind of like mold everything together, right? Okay, that's what happened. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being along. I didn't tell you that later on in the program, Brian Camp will be along, calling in from Charlotte, North Carolina via telephone. He's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports update. And he has a lot to talk about, and we're going to let them handle every part of that. That's coming along in just maybe about 10 minutes or so from now. He'll be here by telephone. We'll talk to him. We'll talk to you if you want to get involved. I see a lot of you guys there. There's Mary over there watching us from Florida. Speaking of the Florida, she's there. Okay, Mr. Chairman. So she's Mr. Chairman. Yeah, Mary, that's what they gave me. They gave me that name, Mr. Chairman, or the chairman of the broads, or whatever you call me. Just call me anything you want. Just don't call me too late for dinner or whatever it is. Thank you so much. for being with us. Mary's from Florida. Mary, how's the weather in Florida? What's it like in Florida? I know my brother was out there, just got back Sunday. He was out in Orlando. And he said while he was out there, it was kind of chilly. But how is it now? I know here in New York, we're here, and the weather's kind of it takes shape different kinds of ways. It gets cold, it gets warm. It wasn't bad today. However, we didn't get a lot of sunshine until like maybe at the end of the day when it came out just for a little while and just bounced back right back in there. But what about where you are, Mike? I don't know. I can't remember where you were staying. Are you in Texas? I believe. Are you in Texas somewhere? Somewhere in Texas. I don't know. I can't remember where you. I know you're out of here. You got wise and left New York. That's for sure. Got wise, left New York, got married, and he has a wife and a little dog, right? He's got the family there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to mention that if you're going to be in New York, and a lot of people are, a lot of people come from all over the place. They want to see the ball drop. I have reservations about that. With this pandemic, of course, as you know, it's going on. It's happening here. It's happening now, and it's all over the place. All over the place, and people are changing. Some people, anyway, are changing their lifestyles and changing their day-to-day habits. Everybody's going back to the mask. People are getting vaccinated, which was one of the things that I always push on this show for you to do, to get vaccinated. It's very important, I think. It's not that I'm telling you to. It's just that something of the thing that I'm pushing, and perhaps maybe you would join in, because as you already know, a lot of people are not getting vaccinated and refuse to get vaccinated. But in the meantime, while people are not getting vaccinated, people are winding up in the hospital. The death rate is going up. The hospitalizations going up. Everything is going up in that department. So we want to make sure that everybody's safe, especially if you have children. You want to make sure they're safe. I couldn't think of a parent who don't protect their children. And this way, this is how you can do it. Make sure that they're all vaccinated. Now, there are three kinds of vaccines, as you already know. They have the J&J vaccine, they have the Moderna, and they have the Pfizer. Now, with the Moderna and the Pfizer, as you already know, it requires 2 shots. Of course, different times, right? And once you get those 2 shots, and they're available to you, right? You should also get boosted. And if you're taking J&J, the Johnson & Johnson, it's only 1 shot, and I think 2 months after that, you should get boosted. And I think it's 6 months after that for J&J and Pfizer. 6 months after your initial 2 shots, then you get the boosters. So, and we're hoping that you are doing that. Now, those of you who haven't been vaccinated at all, kind of think about it while you're here and while you can, function and protect yourself. When you do that, you protect your family, you protect your friends, you protect me, you protect Mike and Mary and everybody else who's here, Brian and other people are here. So there you go. That's right, Mary. I forgot. You're still in New York. You're still in New York, and you're going to be here for a while, right? Living in New York now. I mean, are you here permanently? Because I remember you were telling me at one time before that you were here temporarily for 2 years, and then you're going to go back. Not necessarily to Florida, but you're going to move out. But are you back here permanently? Living in New York now permanently? Because this would bring back old times. Wow. Let's see what she says about that. That would be great. And again, so you guys, if I really appreciate it. I mean, I'm pushing it only because I believe in it. And I believe that, once you get vaccinated, you're protecting everybody else and you're protecting your family. And we don't want anyone to leave the planet Earth, not at least that way. Eventually we'll all leave, but not this way. This is not a time to do it. So please, get vaccinated. If you don't know where to get vaccinated, of course, it's easy to find a place nearest you. They have a lot of places where you can go to your primary doctor. They have places, different centers now where you can go to get vaccinated. And you can go to your pharmacist, your favorite pharmacist. You can go there and get vaccines. And of course, when it comes to the test, you know that people are testing all the way. Here in New York City, there are different, when you go to every corner, just about practically every corner, there's a tent set up on the sidewalk where you can go and get tested. You know, if you're traveling, which a lot of people are, and for the life of me, I don't know why people took this time to travel. People are stuck in airports for days, trying to get back or get where they're going. And well, that's another show. But in the meantime, if you're going to go away, what you want to do is get tested. They have the rapid test now available for you. They even have the home testing, which right now is a shortage of them. But people are going out to get there trying to find them. Me personally, I just rather for someone professional to do it for me if I'm able to, to take that avenue. But for those of you who are going to travel and those of you who are coming in, all right, please, my advice to you is to get tested even before you come in. All right, because a lot of people want to come in, they want to watch the ball drop, and that's biggest one of the biggest festivities that we have come New Year's Eve. People want to shovel off the Times Square. And most of the people who go to Times Square are tourists. Now, when it comes to the ball drop, local people, they want to be there too. But not too many people go to Times Square locally except for that particular occasion. So those of you who are coming in and you want to watch that ball drop, please keep in mind that, they are going to stop you and they're going to ask you for proof of vaccination. Your proof of vaccination is the card that you receive when you get vaccinated, even the first time. And then when you get vaccinated for the second time, Pfizer and Moderna, they'll notate that for you. When you get boosted, you can use the same card and they notate that. However, whatever the plan is, they want you to show the card, vaccination. That's your proof. Because now what they did, they changed things now for the past week or so. They scaled back. The mayor of New York City scaled back on the festivities. They were going to do this in full force, but now they're scaling back and they're limiting a certain amount of people to come in to do that. How they're going to do that, I couldn't even tell you. My only guess is that all of the streets that they blocked off, well, they're going to open up those streets again and just close them in and just limit an amount of people. But if you're going to ask me, right, should they go on with that festivity? And I don't want to be a party pooper. That's not my deal. Mike knows that. I don't want to be a party pooper. I want people to enjoy themselves. But in this case, I would say, cancel it. All right, don't get angry at me. Don't get me angry at me. I'm only saying, just for the sake and the health of all the people who are in New York and people who are coming in, but people, I guess, who are coming in just to visit this place and want to see, maybe they come in for the first time to see the ball drop. Because if they do this, or when they do this, they will do it. The mayor said it's a go. It's a go. So right now they're still doing it. So when you come in, make sure that you have all of your proper your cards. You show that card. Now you don't have to take the card with you because you already know that card, that proof, that, as they call it, a passport, is it's not even wallet size. It's larger than wallet size. So you don't want to carry it around. So the thing you want to do is maybe take a picture with your cell phone, crop it in a way where now you can leave it in there. And so whenever anybody asks you, go to any restaurant or some public place where there are a lot of people, and they're going to ask you for your credentials, which in this case, that will be your proof of vaccination. All you have to do is hold up your cell phone and show it. I do it all the time. And it's big time in New York. People are doing it in New York. You go to wherever you go, restaurants, bars, even if you go to, I guess, sporting events, all right, they're going to ask you, or maybe put you in a section where people are only vaccinated and separate the people who are vaccinated from the people who are not vaccinated, whatever it takes to make sure that everybody is going to be safe. So again, if you don't have a place where you can go, what I suggest to you is to Google it. Find out in your area where you can go to get vaccinated or where you can go to get tested. They're all over the place. You can't miss it. There's no excuse. You could find it. Just Google it to find out nearest you because we're all coming from different places, you know. And of course, you know, you have different parts of the world. You know, they have their, and we have, like I always tell you, there's different time zones. So, and some places are 24 hours. Would you believe that? Some places are 24 hours. So you can get anytime you want. You can get vaccinated and you can get tested. You know, they have a long lines here in New York. There are long lines outside of the centers. And that's why they have these tents outdoors to compensate for all of those long lines, you know, to narrow the long lines if they could, so people can get vaccinated and people can, you know, or people can get tested, you know. So everything is there on the up and up. So anyway, the Mayor Bill de Blasio, as I said, scaled back New Year's Eve celebrations. So therefore, please understand that there's going to be a limited amount of people there on that ground. And if you want to get a spot there, I guess you're going to have to go early. A lot of people, I know, New Yorkers are troopers. A lot of people go as far as camping out. They want to camp out, you know, and stay there and make sure that they have a spot there. Now, I did say maybe they should just cancel it. Do you know that LL Cool J canceled out his performance because he tested positive? Thank you, LL Cool J, for being honest about that. And so he's not going to perform. He was originally supposed to perform that night, which is, of course, tomorrow night. But, you know, he canceled his performance because he tested positive. And I hope and I wish him the best. I hope everything is on. I would assume that he's in quarantine for his 10 days until he's able to come out of it and get retested. And those of you, again, if you're coming into town, please get tested before you come in. And then, you know, if you're too close to people, get tested while you're here. And then when you get back home, you want to get tested too, because a lot of you people are going to be flying. And the airports, as you already know, they canceled a lot of flights. You already know that. They canceled a lot of flights. And so we want to make sure that if you are going to fly for any reason, you know, you don't know who you're going to be sitting next to because they don't have a mandate for people being vaccinated. They don't have a mandate for that. So you don't know who you're going to be sitting next to. You don't know who has it or who doesn't have it. Of course, you know, all of this creates a lot of problems on the flight, as you already discovered. This past week, there was a lady, I guess she's going to wind up in prison, federal prison for it, but she hit an 80-year-old man on her flight, you know. So, you know, people are fighting because some people are not wearing masks and they're fighting over that. And people who are wearing masks, they're fighting over that. No more masks. I mean, this place is like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, we're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and Brian Camp is here along with us, and he is going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports. I know you have a lot to talk about, Brian. How you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing well, and everybody else out there who's tuning in, hope all is well. And yeah, I have a lot to talk about. Got some disturbing news that I need to share with everybody who's listening. But let me tell you, it is 64 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Cloudy. It was a gloomy day. It had a lot of rain and drizzle, but it was seasonal weather. It was seasonal to us. Is like in the 60s and the 70s. It was the high today was like in the low 70s. So nasty day, but it was seasonal. So, but again, let me get to the sports. In the NBA, veteran center Greg Monroe made history by becoming the NBA's record 541st player used in the league this season when he entered the game off the bench for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mm-hmm. But you say, well, why is that so important? I'm glad you asked. Because we're in a pandemic. lot of these players are being tested positive, coming up positive. Now, let me go on. Now the NBA has said vaccinated NBA players and coaches who are asymptomatic can now clear quarantine. This is a new agreement between the players and the Players Association. They say that they now can clear quarantine after 6 days if COVID-19 tested data shows they are no longer at risk to the infectious disease. Now, the NBA and the NBA Players Association, as I just said, agreed to the changes that will replace a protocol requiring league personnel to wait 10 days to test out of quarantine on a return to competition. Now, listen carefully, everybody. The new protocol includes players, coaches, staff, and referees. Individuals also can still test out of quarantine with 2 negative results within 24 hours apart. As of this past Monday, today is Thursday, 214 players were entered protocols this season, in which 201 of them coming in all in December. 201 this month alone. Now, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver recently told ESPN that the Omicron variant was responsible for as much as 90%. I'm going to read that again. The Omicron variant was responsible for as much as 90% of the league's recent COVID cases. So that should tell you. Now, it's not as strong as the past viruses, but it spreads very quickly. So that's the difference. And yes, you can die from it. Now, I just spoke about the NBA. The NFL and the NFL Players Association have reached an agreement. They also reached the agreement. Both sports, the NBA, now the NFL, reached an agreement to set isolation time at 5 days for all players who test positive for COVID-19. Now, the agreement includes both vaccinated and unvaccinated players, and it's contingent on the player being asymptomatic, or at least demonstrating that his symptoms are, well, they say in this case it should be his or hers symptoms are resolving after a 5-day period, after 5 days. So, under the former protocol, unvaccinated players were required to isolate for 10 days, now it's 5, when they test positive. Now, vaccinated players may continue to test out of isolation sooner than 5 days. As soon as the test negative, either with 2 tests taken at the same time or in combination with a cycle threshold test, reading indicates they are no longer contagious. Now, unvaccinated players will not be eligible to test out sooner than 5 days. Like the rest of the sports around the world and country, the NFL has endured a massive COVID-19 surge over the past few weeks. Yes, the NFL and the NFL Players Association, that's the union, have already altered their testing procedures, eliminating weekly testing for vaccinated players and focusing instead of those who have symptoms. But a record of 106 players, I'm going to say that again, a record of 106 players test positive on Monday. That's just a few days ago. That's how fast this virus is spreading. Since December 13th, approximately 515 players have tested positive. So, there you have it. I don't know what to say about this, but this is real. Other news in the NFL, sad news, the NFL will hold a moment of silence before all its Week 17 games for Hall of Famer coach broadcaster John Madden, who died 85. The moment of silence will happen just before the playing of the national anthem. Now, he compiled a record of 103 wins and 32 losses and 7 ties. It's a regular season record, and his percentage is .759 winning percentage, which is the best among NFL coaches with more than 100 games. After he retired from coaching at the age of 42, he was a young guy when he retired, he entered the television booth and educated and entertained millions of fans on the NFL broadcast each week from 1979 to 2009. He's also one of the few, maybe he's the only one, to work all 4 major networks, which is ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox. Now, he became an, as they call it, omnipresent pitcherman in commercials and became the face of the NFL football, which is one of the most successful sports video games of all time. So John Madden, he was, if you ever seen him, I'm pretty sure for the generation, in my generation and beyond my generation, who knows John Madden, they know that he was one of the best, and he was great, and he'll be missed. And they just finished a documentary of honoring him, and he passed away just in time for it to be completed, and which will be aired soon to where I was told. This day in sports, December 30th. 1926, the Chicago Tribune reports that the Tigers threw a 4-game series to the Chicago White Sox in 1917 that helped Chicago win the pennant, but it was never proven. 1971, Long Island franchise purchased the New York Islanders, which is I believe it's just the 4th metropolitan New York team in the area. Well, let me take that back. Metropolitan consists of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So it's the New York Rangers, the New York Islanders, and the New Jersey Devils. But if you want to count the Buffalo Sabres, which is a 4th team, they play upstate New York. In 2018, Patrick Mahomes becomes the only second quarterback in NFL history to throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. He achieved both marks with a third quarter 89 touchdown pass to DeMarcus Robinson. In 2020, that was just 2 years ago, last year, San Antonio Spurs assistant Becky Hammond becomes the first female to coach an NBA team after Spurs head coach Greg Popovich was ejected from the game in the third quarter. So that is sports. But before I hand it back to you, here's some. This is not sports related, but here's some numbers that everybody needs to hear. I don't know how many people are tuned in, but here are the recent numbers as of yesterday. The United States of America have confirmed as 489,033 confirmed who tested positive as of yesterday. Yesterday. And a total of 2,101. The country of India, which is the largest country in the world, have confirmed 13,154. That's from yesterday, but only 268 had died. Now I'm going to go, there's a few more countries I'm going to run through very quickly. Brazil had 9,128. Only 147 died in one day. But everything I mentioned is in one day. The UK, 221,250 were confirmed. 68 died. Russia, 21,119,000 was confirmed. Only 932 have died. In Germany, 41,816 was confirmed yesterday. 381 have died. And in France, 208,099 were confirmed. 184 have died. Now, well, I shouldn't say only, because if you get one, that's still bad. That's still bad. You know, we don't want nobody to die from this virus. But the point that I'm bringing up, the United States of America, the greatest country in the world, 489,033 in one day. Let that sink in. 50 states, United States of America, in one day, 489. That's almost a half a million. In India, the largest country in the world, some say it's the poorest country, one of the poorest countries in the world, 13,154, 268 deaths.
That's a lot of deaths, and I'm hoping that this upcoming year, 2022, people have a change of mind or kind of think about it.
Well, we hope.
We hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best we can do is just hope. Just keep reminding people, and just let's see what happens over this next year. We hope so. I want to get back to John Madden. John Madden, of course, I wanted to talk about him too. I didn't know him. I never met him. I only know him just like the average person would see him on TV. But I was told that he was like a real nice person to be around. I was told that people that knew him loved him, and he helped other people get along. He loved coaching. As a matter of fact, he said he loved more being on the field than he was in that booth.
Yeah, and he never flew. He always had the special bus that he had where he'll travel.
Yeah,
and he just did not believe in doing that.
Yeah.
And it's sad that he died. They don't know what he died, but they said it was unexpected.
Unexpected,
right.
Right.
Whether he was sick or anything.
Yeah. But I just want to send my condolences out to his family, his wife Virginia, and all of the people who work with him, who knew him and loved him, and to all of the people, his fans and everything. I just want to send condolences out. That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the next time I see you on this show, of course we'll see you tomorrow, but on this show it'll be a new year. And so we're coming up to a new year.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see you next year on this show.
Yeah. So, again, let me just say this again. I'm not going to tell people you should take the shot. But if these numbers don't bother you or buckle your knees, then you might have to look in the mirror to see, what can I do to make things better? Well, I gave you some numbers.
Yeah.
You decide.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of anything. And you know this for a fact. Nothing bothers me. Nothing scares me. But this, I take a step back. Because it has taken full control of all of us. And I only wish that a lot of people who don't believe it, who still in that mental state where, oh no, it's not going to bother me. I mean, I've had it, so I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to be healthy because I already had it. That's not the point. It's not the point.
Yep.
But again, we'll see what happens, and let's keep our fingers crossed and pray because there's a God up there, and we'll just pray and just by the time summertime come around, we hope that it flattens just like it did before. We'll see what happens.
Sounds right.
Okay.
I hear everything what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow morning on the coffee hour.
Okay. See you then.
All right. Take care of yourself. That was Brian Kemp. Love talking to him each week when he comes here and does the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And he will be here tomorrow on the coffee hour in the morning. And along with DJ Pete, of course, we have the 2020 feature. Brian will be here 20 past the hour with sports, and DJ Pete will be here 20 to the hour with entertainment news and recite all of those birthdays along with the people who celebrate them all week this week. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're here every Thursday, every ding dong, ring a ding Thursday. And we're here and we get you involved in the show. And we thank you guys so much for being along with us. Those of you who are watching us, we come from 3 different sources. We're right there on Facebook, we're right there on YouTube, and we're right there, my friends, there on Instagram. Thank you guys for being with us. And of course, we're here every Thursday, as I said, between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Now, later on in the program, I am going to give you not too far away, as a matter of fact. We'll tell you more about that. But first off, Mary Jack alone just cleared something up for me. She cleared up that she's going to be here in New York, living in New York for the next 3 years. And then she's moving off to North Carolina, where it's finer. And what part of North Carolina are you going to move, Mary, if you're still with me? What part of North Carolina are you going to be? And Kevin Briscoe, I want to say hi to him. Kevin Briscoe, a good friend of mine. We work together. I have all my radio people who come in. We worked at WNYC Radio, and he's still there. He's still there holding down the fort. And he says that he's never been to Times Square when the ball dropped. You know something, Kevin? I've never been there either. Never been there. I've never, not that I'm saying, that it's not a good thing to do or festivities. A lot of people enjoy those things, but I've never been there. Never once in my life been to Times Square to watch the ball drop. Never been there. And I've seen it as far as TV is concerned, which I'll be, again, watching it on TV. I think for me, it's going to be the safest thing to do. But we told you earlier that the festivities are going to go on in Times Square. And the mayor, even though he said that he was going to scale back on it, and there was going to be less people that was initially anticipated are going to be there in that little square to watch that ball drop. So if you're going to go, please make sure you do 2 things. Make sure that you get there. First of all, first and foremost, is that you show your card, because that's the only way you're going to get in, folks. I'm sorry to say about that, but if you're not vaccinated, they're not going to let you in. And believe me, they're going to rope off all the places. There's going to be a lot of security guys there, police officers. It's going to be tightly secured. So when you show your information and you show your proof of vaccination, they are going to let you in. Other than that, I'm telling you now, so you don't take that trip from wherever you're coming from. Take that trip for nothing and find out that you can't get in. And the second thing you ought to do, if you're going to go, get there as early as you can to get yourself a spot. There's going to be a lot of performers there. There's a lot of entertainment. Is going to be one bailed out. I mentioned it at the top of the show. One person bailed out. LL Cool J bailed out because he was diagnosed positive for the variant. So it's spreading. It's hitting a lot of people, and no one is immune to this. It could happen to anyone. It could happen to you. It could happen to me. It could happen to anyone. But we want to avoid it, and that's why we take our vaccinations and try to, stay away. Because if you're fully vaccinated, they say that even if you get it, it's a good chance that you won't wind up in a hospital or even in the morgue. So that's why we get vaccinated. So I'm just glad that so far it's happening. And again, I'm going to be on the safe side and just make sure that I'm safe at home, watching the festivities at home. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Kevin just said that turning 65 a week from. Oh, Kevin is turning 65 a week from Monday. He had the guts enough to spill the beans. That he's going to become a senior citizen now. So now you're going to get all the benefits that you deserve. Unfortunately, you won't be able to collect your full benefits of Social Security. You can retire. But the way I see you going, I don't think you're going to be retiring anytime soon. But as far as your benefits are concerned, your full-fledged benefits, you get that at 66 years old. When you turn 66 years old, you can do that. And I just want to tell you that when you get those benefits, you can work as many times, as often as you want, and they won't touch your Social Security. But if you decide that you want your Social Security now before the time, before 66, they're going to get you. They're going to get you. So if you're not retired yet, don't worry about your Social Security yet. Wait till you're 66, and then when you collect it, they won't take anything out of it. The only taxes that you'll have to pay for are the ones that you worked for. All right, so clear that up. See, I know that for a fact. I'm a retired guy. Retired from radio a long time ago, and I got to tell you, I miss it. I miss it. You know, I can still go back if I want. I can still go back if I want, but I choose to just leave it to the younger guys. And so there you go. So he's going to wait. So Kevin is going to wait until he's 66 years old because he's working now. He doesn't have to worry about Social Security just yet. He's working now. So by the time 66, and by the time he retires, even when he collects in 66, at age 66, and if he continues to work, he can still continue to work because nobody gets old here. I just decided I just didn't want to do radio anymore. But listen, if I get the fever, I'll come back. And if anybody out there that's in radio know who I am, kind of keep a space open for me just in case I decide to come back. All right, leave a little something open for me in case I decide to come back. Okay, all right. We covered the situation with John Madden. We know that he passed away. Also, we want to, while we're talking about that, we want to also acknowledge the fact that former Senate Democrat leader Harry Reid passed away this week. I think about the same day that John Madden passed away. John Madden was 85 years old, I believe, and Harry Reid passed away. He was 82 years old. So we want to send condolences out to all of the people who worked with him in politics. All of his family, friends, and everyone that knew him and loved him. We want to just send our condolences out there. So here we are at the state of this new variant, which they call Omicron, the Omicron variant, and it's going to be with us for a while. So go back to wearing your mask. You know how some people when the other variant, which we're still in the midst of, the Delta variant, when it was flattened, they said, well, now, those of you who are vaccinated, you can take off your mask now. And if you go to homes where everybody's vaccinated, I guess that still stands. If you in a household, if you're going to visit for the New Year's, you're going to visit indoors, make sure that your place is well ventilated. Hopefully everyone is vaccinated. And you don't have to wear your mask, I assume, But if you're going to go out in public like that, and a lot of people are going to be crowded, if you're going to go to the bars, if you're going to go to the restaurants, take your mask with you. And of course, I'm just hoping that some of these bars and restaurants are still following suit by making sure everybody's vaccinated by asking for their proof of vaccination. And we'll see all about that. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as we move along. On this day in history, in 1861, Associated Banks in New York held gold payments to the government investors and that disrupt Abraham Lincoln's U.S. bank reform program. On this day in history, in 1906, the Indian Muslim League is founded at Dhaka, that's Dhaka, and East Bengal, British India Empire later laid down the foundation of Pakistan. On this day in history, in 1929, Cole Porter's musical Wake Up and Dream, it opens at the Silverwind Theater in New York City, and it runs for 136 performances. On this day in history, in 1935, Italian bombers destroyed British or Swedish Red Cross unit in Ethiopia. On this day in history, in 1936, United Auto Workers staged their first sit-in and their strike at the Fisher Body Plant. On this day in history, in 1936, the beginning of the feud between comedians Fred Allan and Jack Benny on Allan's Talk of the Town show. That was many years ago. On this day in history, in 1939, of Mice and Men, starring Burgess Meredith and Lon Chaney Jr. was released. And back in 1948, Kiss Me Kate opens at the Century Theater in New York City for 1,077 performances. And on this day in history, in 1949, India recognizes the People's Republic of China. Back in 1950, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia become independent states within the French Union. Also back in 1950, the Tennessee Waltz, sung by Patti Page, hits #1 on the Billboard pop charts and stays there for 9 weeks. So that's a popular song back in those days. Patti Page, no longer with us though. Back in 1954, Harold Arlen and Truman Capote musical House of Flowers premieres at the Alvin Theater in New York City. It runs for 165 performances. Back in 1967, the Beatles' Hello, Goodbye, their single goes #1 for 3 weeks. In 1968, Frank Sinatra records My Way with lyrics by Paul Anka. Back in 1972, and I just want to make this perfectly clear, U.S. President Richard Nixon halts bombing of North Vietnam and announces peace talks. Back in 1978, The King and I closes at the Uris Theater in New York City after 719 performances. In 1979, rock group Emerson, Lake and Palmer, they break up. Back in 1980, A Wonderful World of Disney was the last performance on NBC TV. Back in 1981, That Girl, which was recorded by Stevie Wonder, that single made Billboard charts the Song of the Year for 1982. Back in 1988, Oliver North subpoenas U.S. President Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush as defense witnesses for his upcoming trial. In 1914, Bert Parks, he was the host of the TV host of Miss America pageant in Atlantic City. He was born on this day in Atlanta, Georgia. He would have been 107 years old. 1928, Bo Diddley, rock and roll and Hall of Famer, and of course the pioneer of the guitar. He was born on this day in Macomb, Mississippi. He passed away in 2008 at the age of 93. He would have been 93, I should say. On this day in history, 1931, of course, Skeeter Davis, who is known for the great hits that she had. I Can't Stop Loving You. I Can't Help. No, I Can't Help You. I Can't Help You, it says here. And I'm Falling for You. Actually, it wasn't I Can't Help You. It was called I Can't Stop Loving You. I don't know, misprint here. Anyway, the other hits that she had, Falling To and Set 'Em Free and End of the World. Remember End of the World? Skeeter Davis. And she was born in Dry Ridge, Kentucky. She passed away 2000 at the age of, she would have been 90. Davy Jones, formerly of the Monkees, was born on this day in 1945 in Openshaw, Manchester, England, and he died February 29th, 2012 at the age of 66 from a heart attack. 1949, actor, and she's actually an American poet and punk rocker, vocalist, Patti Smith, born in Chicago, Illinois. She's 75 years old today. Happy birthday, Patti Smith. Back in 1959, actress Cheryl Lee Ralph was born on this day in Waterbury, Connecticut. She's 65 today, just like Kevin will be in a couple of days from now. 1957, Matt Lauer, TV host of the Today Show, was born on this day in New York City. He's 64 today. 1959, British actress Tracy Ullman from the Tracy Ullman Show, and she's also a singer. She was born in Slough, England, and she's 62 today. Happy birthday, Tracy. And former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was born on this day in 1963. So he's 58 today. He was born in Orange, California. He's 58 years old today. 1965, remember Heidi Fleiss, the Madam Heidi Fleiss? Well, she's 56 today. Happy birthday, Heidi. I hope you're doing the right thing these days. In 1918, gangster Al Capone marries Mae Josephine Coughlin, the mother of his child. Al Capone, tough guy. 1975, okay, 1975, director Martin Scorsese, weds teacher and author Julia Cameron in Libertyville, Illinois. Back in 1985, a professional wrestler and manager, Miss Elizabeth, and wrestler Macho Randy Savage, they were together. They're no longer with us. Both of them are gone, but they were legends there in the wrestling world. In 1998, Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, weds chemist, I believe, I'm going to see if I'm going to give this name a shot. I think his name is pronounced Joachim Suhr. And they were wed in Germany, Bonn, Germany. Okay, 2018, singer Miley Cyrus gets married to actor Liam, that's his name. Miley Cyrus, actor, gets married to Liam Hemsworth in Franklin, Tennessee. In 1955, actor Gregory Peck divorced real estate broker Greta Kuhn. Let's see. How would you pronounce this? Kukkonen. That's Kukkonen, I would say. And they divorced after 13 years of marriage. Boxer Sonny Liston died on this day in 1970 at the age of 40 from a heart attack. He was born July 22nd in 1930. And he was born in, of course, Sand Loth, Arkansas. And let's see, who else do we have here? Composer Richard Rodgers died on this day in 1979 at the age of 77. He was born June 28th, 1902 here in New York City. And let's see, 1998, Johnny Moore, an American singer from the Drifters, was born on this day in 1934. In 2004, band leader Artie Shaw dies at the age of 94. Iraqi president and director Saddam Hussein, he died on this day in 2006 at the age of 69. He was executed by hanging, and he was born April 28th in 1937, and he was born in Iraq. Actress Louise Rayner died on this day in 2014 at the age of 105. She died from pneumonia. She was born July 12th, 1910 in Dusseldorf, Germany. And finally, actress Dawn Wells, you know her from Gilligan's Island. She passed away not too long ago on this day. That was a year ago, on this day in 2020 at the age of 82. And she died from complications of HIV. COVID-19. And she was born October 18th in 1938 in Reno, Nevada. And those are the days that we have in this day in history. And if anyone knows anything that happened on this day in history that I didn't mention, I would be glad to say you can mention it yourself. Okay? And we'll be looking out for that. Okay, here we are back once again. And if you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Talk Back Live, and we're here every Thursday. We're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we bring you great conversation, of course, all of us together. We thank you so much for being along with us. And we want all of you to make sure to tell your friends about it. You know, if you're watching us, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, of course, you're going to want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? Because every time you subscribe to my YouTube channel, what happens is that you'll never miss a show because you will be informed every time you get there. Every time we go on the air live or we post something like a video or something, you will be informed. You will definitely be informed. So we want to make sure that you get that and do that. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, of course, tag a friend. Let us know that we're on the air there. And of course, all of you guys right there on watching us right there on Instagram. Thank you so much too. And we thank you so much for having us along. And that's it. And so there you go. We have all of that for you. It all comes your way. and it all comes your way right here on Talkback Live. So thank you so much for being along with us. It's a great uh, evening here in New York. We had a little rain this morning, but things gets better because while we're coming up to a brand new year, and we're looking forward to all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, wherever you are doing, uh, again, tell a friend about the show and get them involved with us, and we'll be glad to have you along. Really be glad to have you along. And that's the way to do things. It's the right thing to do. It's the great thing to do, and a fine way to do it. So there you go. Okay, so we are going to talk about usually at this time, right? What I usually do at this time is give you information, right, on what happens with the movies that we have. We select movies for you, right? And what we do, we tell you about what's happening on Turner Classic Movies, right? Because I love those movies, and I think a lot of you guys like those movies too. Turner Classic Movies. And those of you who get there and want to see what's happening, well, we don't have anything this time around for you. I look at my notes here. We don't have any picks for the week, and I kind of remembered that I kind of felt that it was going to happen sooner or later because it was kind of thinning out. We don't have anything this week for you, but what I can tell you to do, I only picked them, right? But what I can tell you to do is go on to Turner Classic Movies. When you turn on your TV, go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll through the banner, through the schedule, and find out. There may be movies that you may like that are on Turner Classic Movies that I didn't pick. All right. So we invite you to do that. Go there and check it out. Now, if you are a subscriber to cable, or a lot of people are, if you're a subscriber to cable, you can go there and check out all of the networks there. And now, if you're a sports fan like I am, if you have missed your favorite sport event in real time, they usually, come up there when you go there the following day, and you can check it out there. Like, for instance, I love wrestling. So if I miss a wrestling match on the network, I go to check it out. I check it out on if I don't watch it on real time, if I don't get the chance to watch it on real time, then I will go to demand and to that particular network, and then I can find my favorite wrestling match there. Also, there are great movies too. If you want to go movie on demand, there are a lot of great movies you can check out. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry about that. I didn't have a pick for you this week on Turner Classic Movies, but I will probably have something next year. Now, this is a brand new year. So a lot of you probably may not be watching TV anyway, but those of you who do watch TV, you'll have all of your choices. And again, a lot of people are going to be out and about for the new year, going to be celebrating. Either you're celebrating at home or you're celebrating at someone's house, and maybe in Times Square. And maybe where you are, you may have similar celebrations like we do here in New York. Maybe not as productive as we have it here. We have big production here, So there you go. There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for this day here on Talkback Live. But I want you to join me back here tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow morning for the coffee hour. We'll be here at 10 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Eastern. Brian Kent will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. We'll have that for you. DJ Pete will be here also. We have the 2020 feature. Brian 20 after the hour, DJ Pete 20 to the hour, and he will have on his part entertainment, and he'll be reciting all of those birthdays of the people who celebrated this week. And all of that's coming up, and of course, you and we'll have all a great conversation. Other than that, you can meet me back here next week, and it'll be a brand new year when we come back. And we hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, a brand new year. Do it all safe, and always remember, if you can, please get vaccinated. And we look forward to that. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, and above all, a good night to each and every one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.